From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on Lalate.
Good afternoon. Big developments today across the board. Wednesday, March 1st, 3rd. It's the Noontime on Lalate. A big change could be confirmed for your $14 third stimulus check bill, as the president gets a call to modify the bill slightly. Wall Street reports mixed numbers today as your third stimulus check excitement grows. The Senate is set to promptly pass the $14 third stimulus check bill, and it could land in your bank account as this week as early as just a few days. Meantime, the bond market's rising, tech stocks are slumping, and the America that we see today could be dramatically different in a few weeks. We have great news across the land as we start the first hour of Noontime. LA starting right now. It's a big day as America awaits the arrival of your $1,400 third stimulus check. Modifications to the bill started today as the President of the United States received a call to make changes on the high end, not affecting viewers of this channel, but passing the muster to get 100% approval from all Democrats in the Senate. This is huge, great news. Elsewhere, Wall Street's reacting to slumping numbers from employment across major indices. Tech is down, bonds are trading up. I have all the big details starting right now. This is Noontime and this is LA. How are you? How are you on a big day with huge great news? Your $1,400 third stimulus check is going to get passed. Wow. Had this happen? What's happening just today? A lot of developments. Number one, the bill will be called for a vote as early as today in the Senate. Number two, the day started with a call from moderate Democrats to the White House saying, you know what, we'll give you 100% approval of this bill. We'll just do one amendment, take the $15 minimum wage out, but we want to tailor that high-end phase out slightly. And he said, how slightly? Just a little bit. He said, deal. Deal. This is huge. It doesn't affect you. It affects people who would make about 6 figures a year. This is huge, meaning that we're going to get this bill done right away. We're going to get a call for a vote for right away. We mean we're going to get this bill passed this week. It means it's going to be signed by the president as early as this week. This is huge. This is on top of the other big news across the board. In an hour from now, I'll be back with the continuation of that breaking development from Elizabeth Warren, who has introduced now a standalone bill in the Senate, a wealth tax bill, that'll generate $2.75 trillion, and with that money, would pay for that $200 a month SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and railroad benefits. And if that excitement's not enough, there's a third. The third is from 11 Democrats and independent Bernie Sanders. Yesterday wrote the president, said, you know what? If you want support for that $14 third stimulus check now, we'll give you the support for the third stimulus package, but we know you're writing the fourth one right now. We want multiple stimulus checks in there. Oh my goodness. It's a lot of big, great news in one day. It's just after 11 o'clock here on the West Coast. It is raining outside. I hope you are safe and calm and in great spirits. And let me see who's in the room. Across the country, we've seen some confusing news. Governor Abbott out of Texas saying, we're open for business. Who cares about COVID? Come on in. Let's go to some bars and let's get drunk. He's Bonnie. There's Dennis. And there is Debbie. How are you? And there's Jeanette. Hey, Jeanette, how are you going? And there's Gina. And there's Connie. And there's Charlotte. How are you, Charlotte? And there is, and Gina says, would the SSI be retro? Don't know yet. Everything's possible. Elizabeth, there's Lynn Glenn, and there's Bonnie Kell. There's Margaret Owens. How are you? There's Charles Sullivan, Sandy King, Gunnar, and Jonathan, and Melody. It's my birthday today. Oh my God, Melody Bennett. Oh, where am I? Here I am. Melody Bennett. Happy birthday to Melody Bennett. That's Bennett. Everyone in the room, welcome and give a big birthday hug to Melody Bennett. It's just a big hug. Just sort of give her a digital hug. Give her some bacon. Give her some Calcino VIP tickets. Give her something. If you've not subscribed, this is the moment to hit that subscribe button on this channel. This is the best darn channel there is. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 6 hours of live program. We start at 9 o'clock on the West Coast, 12 o'clock on the East Coast, 11 o'clock Midwest time. Start at 9 o'clock, go all the way to 3 o'clock. 6 hours of live programming today, every day. 2 hours for mornings. It's called Morning Show. 2 hours for our noontime show. This is the one you're watching right now. And then 2 hours for Afternoons LA. Today's Afternoons LA will end a little bit earlier. I'll tell you about that later. Hit that subscribe button. This channel's on fire. The last 2 days have been our biggest days in 3 weeks. Everyone's adoring the new format. I'm loving it. It's interactive. It's up to date. I can deliver you news literally to the minute. I can tell you what's going on with this side of the spectrum and that side of the spectrum. The Dow is up about 86. NASDAQ is down 138. Most of today about 1%. Microsoft down $3. Walmart is down $1.50. Tesla's down 4 to 682. The concern came after numbers from Wall Street this morning on what's called private payroll growth. Disappointed in February. I'll have more about that later in this recording. You want to know that because it impacts your fourth stimulus package. But the developments came this morning about your third stimulus check. It came on what we call phase-out levels. What are phase-out levels? Well, everyone under $75,000 is getting a $14 stimulus check. Individual, children, adult dependents, you're all getting a stimulus check. That's not changing. Not taken out for debt support, not taken out for back taxes, not taken out for child support, not taken, all that has not changed. You're getting a stimulus check if you make less than $75,000. What's changing today? It's something called the phase out, which I don't cover that much across this country. Most of the viewers of this country don't look at that. It's the phase out. If you made $76,000, do you get a stimulus check? Yeah, you do. Just not $14, maybe $1,300. How about $79,000? Yeah. Well, when does it stop? It was supposed to always stop at $100,000. That's what the first stimulus package, the second stimulus package, that's what they all did. But the president got a call today from moderate Democrats saying, you know what? How about we phase out earlier, lower? He said, how low? 80,000 instead of 100,000, meaning you'll get a stimulus check of a smaller amount and it'll stop at 80,000 rather than 100,000. He said, deal. If you pass this right away, then deal. I think this is absolutely huge. Happy birthday, Melanie. And there's Elke. There's Dennis. There's Sandy. Get those likes up. That's the like queen and the subscribe king are in the room. Boy, this is huge news. I'll tell you why this is huge news. It's huge news because we're done. We're done. We have the Democrat moderates saying, we just got one issue. Can we pull back that upper edges of the stimulus check? And then we'll just call for a vote and we're done. Yeah. President said, yeah, done. I love it. I love it. They're taking out the $15 minimum wage, the Senate. They're making a slight modification and done. They're going to chatter for much of the day because that's what they do for a living. They chatter. They chatter. Instead of chattering at the casino, which they do at night, they chatter on the Senate floor. They're going to chatter. And once they chatter, then we got to vote and we got it done. It would go back to the House, and then it would slam on the president's table, and then bam. This is the visual you would see. The visual you would see is this one. Signing the bill. He wants that visual ASAP. He wants that visual as soon as possible. The stimulus check could go out within 3 days or less. The second stimulus check went out within 2 days, 3 days after it became law. Wow. This is huge. This is the news you wanted. What else is in that third stimulus check package? I didn't go over it in the video before this because there was so much breaking news. Let me go over quickly. Here's where I start to talk too fast. Slow it down, dude. $3,600 for a kid less than 5 years or younger, plus $1,400. $300 a month starting the month of July. If the child is 17 to 6, $3,000 plus $1,400. That's $250 a month starting the month of July. The $1,400 stimulus check would come with yours right away. College students, $1,700 of financial aid plus a $1,400 stimulus check. Hazard pay, $1,500 if you made less than $25,000 during the pandemic, plus $1,400 stimulus check. Money for rent, low income, middle class, homeless people to get into housing, mortgage money for your privately paid mortgage. And let me pause for a second before I continue with the provisions. And a reminder, two big reminders. One, the eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance executive orders expire the end of this month. The president will have to do executive orders. Stay with me, subscribe, hit that like button, because I want to remind you, they're expiring this month. That's the moratoriums, not the money, the moratoriums. Also, if you have an IRA or a retirement plan, a 401k, the mandatory distributions you would normally have to take every year were foregone, were alleviated. You'd have to do them last year because of the first stimulus package. That is set to expire as well. So watch with your tax preparer for that as well. Let's cut back to the other items of the third stimulus package. There is an extension of PUA, UI, PEUC, and FPUC from March to August. There is some edge, not mainstream, but edge chatter from some Democrats to try to get it to September instead of August. I don't know if it's going to happen. $4 a week from March to August. You wouldn't have to change your benefits. You would just stay on benefits and it would just continue. And suddenly it would be instead of $300, it would be $400. You wouldn't have to reapply for a claim or anything. And then there's money for businesses. We have a new hit show on Noontime, Lalate, and it's called Business Grants. It's the Business Lunch Show. The Business Lunch Show is coming up actually right after this show. And so I'm not going to go over too much about the business grants because that's a show coming up after this. At the top of the hour, I'm going to go over Elizabeth Warren's big shocker about SSI. That's at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 o'clock on the East Coast. And then at 3:30 is our new standalone show about SSI and SSDI. Right after this one is that business grants show. So what's Wall Street thinking this afternoon? It's excited about the stimulus. It's beside itself and very excited about this stimulus. But Wall Street had some not so good numbers again. What were these numbers? Private payroll growth, disappointing in February. It showed that companies added just 117,000 jobs in the month of February. Wall Street was expecting 225,000, so it missed it by 100,000. And this came as they looked at education and healthcare only increased by 35,000. Hospitality only added 26,000. Trade didn't do well. And now we are still at 3.8 million jobs less than a year ago. This is what your Treasury Secretary and Jerome Powell have both unilaterally said we need this stimulus to go out and we need stimulus to continue. Can you imagine 3.8 million jobs are still missing from this economy from a year ago? A new report out from Nilo Richardson, chief economist at ADP, says with the pandemic still in the driver's seat, the service sector remains well below its pre-pandemic levels. However, the sector is one that will likely benefit over time with the reopenings and increased consumer confidence. It's just, it hasn't happened yet. And that is why, while you see stuff across the country, reopening plans, relaxing of lockdowns, the jobs are not yet coming back. This is why Wall Street is waiting for news and clarity about your fourth stimulus package. And what was that news? That news came yesterday, and we're hearing more about today, as 11 Democrats wrote the President of the United States, said we will vote our support in favor of this bill, the third stimulus package, provided the fourth one has reoccurring stimulus checks. There's Double C, and there's Bonnie in the room. There's Sandy. Get those likes up, says Sandy. Amen. Get those likes up. There's Charles, and there's Lynn. If you've not subscribed, this is the day to subscribe to this channel. Like this video. Hit that like button. I don't want you to miss anything as it happens across the board. There is so much happening. Whether it is the $1,400 third stimulus check getting passed, or the standalone SSDI funding through a wealth tax from Elizabeth Warren, or the fourth stimulus package push from Democrats saying, you want support for this bill? Then the fourth one better have reoccurring stimulus checks. I'll have more about that and more. But in the meantime, hit that subscribe and like button, and here's some information about the community page. Stay with me. I'll be back in about 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LA Daily for the excitement of the new LA live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LA at 9 a.m. Home LA returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LA at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LA Late.
From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LA Late.
Bond yields are rising currently as its tech stocks are falling on a Wednesday afternoon. There's growing optimism that the vaccine will improve this economy quickly. Airlines are up. American Airlines is up 4%. Carnival, Norwegian up about 6%. Energy sector is up 2%. But the roll from tech out of tech is happening again. Roll into cyclical, out of tech, roll into bond. Bond yields on the rise. Tech stocks are falling. While the S&P and 500 may be facing structural headwinds due to tech weaknesses, and much of the rest of the market's actually doing quite well, says Tom Essie. Overall, most non-tech stocks are weathering the increase in the bond quite well, but not particularly promising as we wonder where jobs are. When we wonder about jobs, we're wondering about forced stimulus. The forced stimulus package is the reopening stimulus package. As the America reopens, how much stimulus? Democrats yesterday said reoccurring stimulus checks. They want reoccurring stimulus checks. They didn't say the amount, and they didn't say multiple, which is what I say on this channel. MSC, multiple stimulus checks, which could mean, 3 a year. Oh no, they said reoccurring, meaning every single month a new stimulus check. Wow. And this is huge for a lot of reasons. It's the math. There's only 50 Democratic senators, and 11 wrote the letter. That doesn't mean the other 40-something don't support it. It means we're starting with 11 saying, we're doing it this way, Mr. President. Number two, they also said, we'll give you support for the third stimulus check bill today and this week, Mr. President, so you could sign and get it out by the end of this week. We want it to go out as soon as possible. But when you come back to us with the fourth stimulus package, it has to have reoccurring stimulus checks in there. We will not sit back and have you sign another bill for the fourth stimulus package with just one check in there. This is huge. The Senate's removing the $15 minimum wage. If you have just joined me, the Senate's removing the $15 minimum wage. The Senate is also making a modification of the high end of eligibility for the stimulus check. Does not concern you. Again, does not concern you. You're getting a stimulus check if you made less than $75,000 if you're on SSI or SSDI. You're getting a stimulus check. This is for people who make $100,000. There are some people who make $95,000 that still would get a stimulus check across this country. That's being removed from the bill. And what's great about it is so that the bill could get this visual. A signing this week. Oh my goodness. This is just insanely great news. Let's recap where we are. Let's recap. $1,400 third stimulus check bill was passed in the House last Friday. It has in there $15 minimum wage. The bill then went to the Senate. Over the weekend, the president said, take out the $15 minimum wage. On Monday, Chuck Schumer said, we're taking it out. He said, today we're having voting on the bill, and we're going to get it done quickly. The day then started today with a call to the White House saying, we'll give you all the 50 votes for the Democrats, but a few of the moderates want to change what's called the phase out of the check, meaning people who make less than $75,000 are still getting exactly the same stimulus check. All three stimulus bills have said if you make less than $75,000, you're getting a stimulus check. If you're on SSI, everyone gets on this channel gets a stimulus check. I'm just covering this so you understand what it's about. But more importantly, I'm covering it to show you we're getting done, we're getting finalized, we're getting a vote, and we're getting approval. They made a deal. They said at the high end, those people who make $90,000, they were supposed to get a smaller check, maybe a couple $100. Let's cut them out of here. Let's phase it out at $80,000 instead of $100,000. The president said, done. Done. Do I have your support? Are we going to get this approved? Absolutely. Done. This is huge. You're going to get your $14 third stimulus check bill to a vote with 100% approval. The tie-breaking vote, of course, is this person, VP Harris. And then back to the House that same night, passed in the House, and to the president for this visual signed into law. Stimulus check would land your bank account within about 3 days. This is huge. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel because you see how things are sort of complicated. I try to make them clear. I try to make them very informative and yet educational and yet fun and interactive. And then there's more. The fourth stimulus check package is getting a major push from 11 out of 40 Democrats to start, could be more, that says when you bring us that fourth stimulus package in the next few days, the next bill, it has to have reoccurring stimulus checks in there. That's the huge great news on number two. Hashtag MSC. That's what this channel, that's what you did, Purple Power. And then the third hashtag, SS200. Elizabeth Warren yesterday talked about her bill, which she introduced on Monday, which would fund programs like the $200 a month on top of your existing benefits. It's a wealth tax. It's now a bill. It's now standalone in the Senate. It's with that other bill she has standalone in the Senate for $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness. This is huge. Everything that we had wanted nearly is happening. Wall Street's reaction, bond markets up again. Flight out of tech and into big cap as reopening plays continue. Elsewhere, the president, which I'll detail in the video at the top of the hour, says that America will be fully vaccinated by the month of May, 2 months earlier. This is news as several states are under fire, like Texas, as his governor said, we're back open to business in just a few days. Come on in, go to the bar, get drunk, get on top of each other. I don't care. We're back to business. We're fine. We got a vaccine. Who cares? Texas. Or at least the governor. Mr. Governor. In just 3 minutes from now, I'm back with business lunch on Noontime Lalate. What is business lunch? It's to show you how you can get money right now if you have an existing business or you want to start a new business, whether it's a grant or a loan, whether it's a law or a bill. I'm going to show you how you can get big money for your business to get from point A to point B. It's our business show. And then I'm back at the top of the hour, the video right after that with a big update about the breaking news and about your stimulus check and SSDI. And then right after that is the fourth show, the final show on Noontime on SSI and SSDI, a standalone show on that. So much excitement. I'm really excited for you. You excited? There's just so much happening today. Coming up next, the continuation and the excitement unfolds as Noontime Lalate continues.